And it's, authors got I got a soft spot for authors, and this guy's an author and some other stuff. So we're gonna let you introduce wifey.
I mean, it's hot in
It's
here,
up.
you
It's
know.
up.
It's some heat. It's some heat
Hey
in the
man, we
building,
got the
y'all.
heat today.
Listen, like I've been saying in the beginning and just now before the commercial break, this young man is phenomenal. He's doing a lot of amazing things, and being an author is not easy. And motivating people and speaking life into people, I'm sure is not easy. But I want y'all to welcome to our family, Brian Heath.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Yes, let's go, let's
All
go.
right, all right.
Y'all
Welcome,
see
man.
the
Hey, welcome.
jacket?
Thank you.
Look at the jacket, y'all.
Hey.
The jacket got flames on
Hey,
it.
wait a minute.
Brian Heat.
Hey, Heat, you hear me?
Heat. Yes.
Y'all don't know what's going on.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Yes.
we definitely appreciate author. That's the first thing I want to say. Congratulations
Thank you
on
so
being an
much.
author. A lot of people say they want to write a book. A lot of people say they writing a book. But
That's right.
I'm gonna give
really
some
hard to go
accolades
live.
before he.
Get 'em accolades,
I'm gonna give
though.
some
Gotta give 'em
accolades
all
about
up.
this young man. He's keynoted for over 100 colleges, universities, high schools, churches, sports teams. He has shared speaking stages with Colin Powell, Steve Harvey, Halle Berry, Jalen Rose, Hill Harper, Stedman Graham. He has produced, directed, and wrote 3 sold-out multi-show inspirational stage experiences: Heaven on Earth, Everyday Angel, and Beautiful Power.
Wow.
Co-produced and directed an award-winning documentary, Striving of the Extraordinary. And he's an author, founder of diverse male student initiatives. I mean, I'm out of breath
There's a
already.
lot going on.
It's a lot.
Well, hell,
God is
Brian,
good.
man,
God is good.
God is good.
You better know it. So
Yes,
Let's
sir.
talk about it.
Okay.
Brian, how do you find time? Like, you got a lot going on, brother.
Well, you know what's cool, man? I tell people, man, I read a book called Wealth, and it talked about the billionaires and millionaires. What they do is
Fire.
they diversify their talent. I'm an educator, so everything that you just talked about right there is just nothing but me finding dope stages and remixing my desire to educate in a different way.
Right.
I love it.
I came up out of HBCU, South Carolina State University.
Okay.
And I started
Yeah.
teaching in Prince George's County schools. Then I went to charter schools in D.C. But I started getting confirmations because parents started coming to me like, yo, you one of the best teachers my son or daughter ever had. Will you come to my church? Will you come to my college campus and speak? And I believe that you should follow your confirmations.
Yep.
That when God shows you a doorway, you need to have the feelings to walk through it.
Yes.
Say that one more time.
Yes,
What
indeed.
now?
Yeah, real
Yes,
talk.
indeed.
Hey,
Yes,
that's
indeed.
real.
Yes.
That's real.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I love
Wow. Okay. So when did you realize that this was your lane? Was this a passion of yours a long time ago? Like.
It was, I had a breakout moment. I think we all have a breakout moment. I tell people, I wrote a book called Get Ignited. It was an Amazon hot release. As soon as it
Okay.
came out, it went to the top. But one of the chapters was called Follow the Rush.
Follow
Then
the
when,
rush.
like right now, what you guys are doing, I know it feels good to you. I can tell by your
does.
body language. Everybody in here, what you do, it makes you feel good. And I just kept following those moments that made me feel good. Get in front of those stages. People would come to me and say, yo, man, I love what you just said. But I had a moment where I went to the University of Akron's Black Male Summit, and I was a keynote speaker. I think Lamar Rucker was one of the speakers as well that year. And about 13 colleges picked me up right after I was done. And I began a national tour speaking around the country.
Wow.
But from there, it went to doing merch and writing more books. I did a book called Beautiful Power, a love letter to black women. And I had a stage performance that had dancers, DJs, and it was my ode to black women.
Get out.
Around the same time that Love and Hip Hop came out, and I got tired of seeing sisters cast the wrong way.
Right.
So I wanted to write my own pen from brother to sister to saying how much I love you. So I'm just trying to diversify, man, and put some paint where there ain't.
Hey, man. So you see how y'all get a lot of things on Spotlight over the City. All this in
Yes.
one show. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
This is why I was proud to have you on, brother. I already knew the energy was up. So
Right.
everything for me is energy.
That's
I'm
right.
an energy guy.
Right.
And so I see that you have the energy and the passion because you speak with the passion.
No doubt.
And so where did you find that passion? Like in the pandemic, we had a situation. They
Right.
shut it down.
Right.
How did that affect you as far as?
Well, I'm going to keep it all the way a buck. One thing about me is 3 days after the pandemic and the city shut down, maybe March 16th, 2020, my birthday was the 14th. I was on U Street having fun with the crew. And I started getting emails from all these colleges. My whole spring tour got canceled because of the pandemic. All the colleges shut down. So I tell people, what would you do if what you were born to do became illegal? And so I no longer could legally go to colleges and speak because of the pandemic, no crowds. So I went through it. It was tough, man, navigate. I'm a people person, big energy, and having to be quarantined in my house, I started getting in my head a little bit, started feeling a little bit isolated, but then I crawled out of it, and you asked me a good question. My energy comes from God. Everything that God placed inside of me is what pulls me through and pushes me through. So during the pandemic, I created an online academy called League of Extraordinary Dreamers Virtual Academy, where I do online coaching. I teach people how to be speakers. I coach all type of young men on terms of how to elevate. And then I created my own merch line as well called Rock the World Apparel. So you talked about this, those new entrepreneurs. I wasn't a new entrepreneur, but I expanded my business during the pandemic. So God pulled me through, man, and God pushes me through all the time.
Wow.
So any man that speaks God, let's give it up
Look
for
at
that.
that.
So I tell people a lot of times, don't ever be too fly to pray or have a God. Like a lot of times, a lot of people have this facade about themselves where they so G, they can't know nothing higher than themselves and this and that. And that's a big mistake, right? So when I get people on like yourself and you mention God openly, when I don't have to bait it or bring it up, it makes me feel good, because a lot of times we have to see that God is still present. Sometimes we think that we have to do it all, but you rocking, and God is the one who's the driving force, and so it is for us as well.
Right.
And so I appreciate you speaking openly about that.
Absolutely.
That's cool. A lot of people hide their business, and they don't want to put that out there.
No, I mean, for me, I don't know how you moving out here without God. And again, we're not talking about religion. I'm talking about a spirituality, vertical
Now
connection.
we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I have to share something with you. So I run a program at Prince George's Community College called the Diverse Male Student Initiative Program. It started in 2009. I built it from the ground up. And the previous president, Dr. Charlene Dukes, helped me build the program. We started off with no students. 10 years later, we've had 3,000 men in Prince George's County go through the program.
Yes.
Now, what's cool is this. Watch this, though. For 10 years, I've only had $6,000 a year to run that program. God just put me on a $3.6 million grant going into the next 2022 school year. Clap it up for that, man. That's good.
Yes.
But the testimony is this. I was a steward over the $6,000. For 10 years, I had very little resources, but we still turned lemons to lemonade. Matter of fact, the last valedictorian of Morehouse was one of my students. I had a student of mine that's produced a gold record for King Vaughn. Rest in peace to King Vaughn. We've had all these success stories on $6,000, but now God gave us $3.6 million. And so now moving ahead, this is legacy work, man, changing the game and changing lives. So I'm happy about that.
Yes, I am so happy about that too. You all right?
Let me get that.
Sorry about that.
Got to stay hydrated.
I was going to say, I know the Heimlich maneuver and CPR.
I got you too, brother. Whatever you need, man. Whatever you need.
Okay, so what's coming up for you, Brian? What's next in 2022? What can we look forward to?
So I'll be honest, and I'm going to have to, I think my man already said, I know it sounds cliche. I've had a vision in my heart for a production that I wanted to do in terms of inspiration. And it's been in my heart for several years. I say about 10. But I'll be honest with you, it was beyond my pockets to really manifest. I think somebody said when God gives you a dream, he doesn't look at your budget, he looks at your faith.
Yep.
And so probably I can't give you too much because I also said this, when God is manifesting your dream, don't televise it too much.
Yep.
Let it materialize, let it build up. I think in Atlanta social media, we want to give it out so quick for the likes and the retweets. Let that thing cook. I will say this, what I'm working on is going to put me in front of 51 million subscribers worldwide.
Yes,
I'll leave it right there. But when I come back, hopefully you invite me back.
Yes, we will. Of course.
In early 2022, when the ink dries on these contracts, we'll be able to go ahead and make something happen.
And we can talk about it on the show.
Absolutely. You're going to be a part of it. We might bring you in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Look at God. Yes, look at God. Yes. So
basically what you said is when God gives you a vision, he gives you provision.
Oh, my God. Absolutely. Every time.
That's it.
Every time. But again, all I do is I'm an educator. I tell people, when they say, well, I heard you do this, I do that. I educate. I find real dope ways to do it. A lot of times in our community, educators don't get the respect they deserve. And I think it's because they're considered, you don't make a lot of money doing education. If you're an educator, you don't have to be in the classroom. You can write curriculums. Right. You can become a motivational speaker, do author, do books, do stage plays. I've met more educators in the DMV. When I met Raheem Devon had done a little bit of classroom work. I've met so many artists in this area that are now doing world shows and tours and acting, but they start off as classroom teachers. So no matter what your industry, man, diversify that portfolio, follow your passion, and follow God.
I love it. That's right.
Period. Where can they follow you?
Follow me at Brian Heat at Instagram. Also, you can go to my website, brianheat.com.
Okay.
The merch store, Rock the World Apparel, got some real nice stuff there. But again,
look at there.
There we go. Yeah, a couple little pieces. League of Extraordinary Dreamers. Got some nice stuff up there. But again, man, I just encourage, man, whoever's tuned in, this right here is a dream manifested. This right here is Spotlighting the City is a dream. So my thing is, while I'm here, is I want to support dreamers like you guys, man. So we kindred spirits here in the room and in the audience, man. So I salute you guys.
When we salute you right back, man. Let's give it up. This is what it's all about. This is why we have this platform. I feel like God blessed me to have a platform so we can spotlight brothers like yourself and the other guests that's been on here. This is what we need. This is what we need to be real with each other. We need to build each other up, and we need to link.
And do this stuff together.
Because we all we got.
The real Wakanda.
Yes.
We are all we got.
That's right. That's right.
So on that note, let's give it up one more time. My man. Hey, I appreciate you so much. You said some amazing things. You dropped some jewels, and that's what I pray every day. When I start up, I always say, I hope we say a thing or do a thing to bless something.
That's right.
And so that's exactly what we feel we got today. So thank you for blessing us with your presence, brother.
I appreciate you.
And our platform is yours anytime. We're family now.
Let's
so
do
just
it.
know you stuck with us.
We locked in, man.
Let's do it.
Okay?
All right, one more time, man. Y'all give it up for my man.
All right, we're not done. We're not done.
Man, we still rocking. We got
two,
another guest coming up.
We got two more guests in the building.
I'm going to wait. Stay right
next up is Spotlight Family as well, filmmaker, author as well, and
a whole bunch of other stuff.
A big power player in the industry. Terry Miles is coming up after this next commercial break, y'all.
We'll be right back. Spotlight over the city, baby.